All right, let's get right into it. We are talking about a massive, invisible race that's happening right now, one that's going to decide the future of literally trillions of dollars in digital assets. And this isn't about the next big rally. Nope. This is about the very survival of the technology itself.
Just let that sink in for a second. What if every single Bitcoin wallet, every Ethereum contract, all of it could just be cracked open, not one by one, but all at the same time? I know it sounds like something out of a movie, but it's a very real threat that we're scrambling to get ahead of.
And the culprit here is something called a quantum computer. These things are different. They play by a whole new set of rules, quantum mechanics, and it lets them solve certain types of problems way, way faster than any computer we have today. And unfortunately, one of those problems is breaking the very encryption that holds our entire digital world together.
So let's really break this down. What does this threat actually look like? How can one new kind of computer put some of the most secure networks ever built on the chopping block?
The whole reason Bitcoin and Ethereum even work is because of their incredible security, which is all built on this foundation of powerful cryptography. It's mostly something called the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, or ECDSA. It's a mouthful, I know. Just think of it as the super complex, unique lock on your digital vault. It's what makes sure that you and only you can sign transactions and access your funds. It's the bedrock.
And then there's Shor's algorithm. Okay, so if ECDSA is the lock, then a big enough quantum computer running this algorithm is the universal master key. It's not just trying to guess the combination, it's specifically designed to solve the exact kind of math problem that makes the lock strong in the first place. It basically just unlocks it instantly.
And that's the core of the problem, right? The encryption we use today is amazing against today's computers. It's practically unbreakable. But a quantum attack completely changes the game. It doesn't just chip away at the security, it makes it totally useless. A successful attack means someone could figure out your private key just by looking at your public one. Game over.
Look, all the top cryptographers and security experts in the world agree on this. They see it as a total inevitability. So the countdown has already started, which means the race to find a solution is on.
So if this quantum attack is this giant sword hanging over the entire industry, what's the shield? Well, the good news is the global security community is already forging a new one, and it's called post-quantum cryptography. PQC is a totally new class of encryption. It's not just a slightly stronger version of what we have now. No, this is built on completely different types of math problems, the kinds of problems that are believed to be super hard for both regular computers and quantum computers to solve. This is the next-gen shield that's being built to protect our digital future.
And it's not like we're just putting all our eggs in one basket. Researchers are exploring a bunch of different paths here. Lattice-based, hash-based, all these complex fields. You don't need to be an expert on them, but the main takeaway is that this is a huge, diversified effort to find the absolute best solutions. But okay, finding the right algorithms is one thing. Actually implementing them across live networks worth trillions of dollars, that is a whole different ballgame. And to be honest, it's a truly Herculean task.
I mean, think about it. This is not like a simple software update on your phone. It's more like trying to replace the entire foundation of a massive skyscraper while thousands of people are still living and working inside. Everything has to be perfect, or the whole thing could come crashing down. The whole process is just unbelievably complex. First, the whole world has to agree on the new standards. Then, you have to run the old system and the new system at the same time to make sure everything works. And finally, you have to convince the entire network to make this huge, permanent switch, a hard fork, all without breaking anything or losing a single cent.
And there's a catch. Of course there's a catch. This new, ultra-strong security, it comes with a trade-off. As you can see here, these new PQS signatures are often way bigger than our current ones. All that extra data takes up more block space, and that can mean slower and more expensive transactions. So the real challenge isn't just making it secure, it's making it secure and efficient.
So with all these challenges, you might be asking, why is this race so important? Well, because for the projects that actually pull this off, the reward is going to be immense. It's what we can call the security premium.
This quote just nails it. In crypto, security isn't just a nice feature to have, it's the entire product. It is the value. And so, the chain that can prove it's the most secure for the long term is going to be seen as the most valuable, period. And this is what's at stake. Over $2 trillion. That's the value currently being protected by encryption that we know has an expiration date. When you see a number like that, the threat stops being abstract and becomes very, very real.
This really lays out the two paths forward. The chains that get ready for the quantum era are basically eliminating what's called tail risk, that small but catastrophic chance of a total meltdown. When you get rid of that fear, investor confidence goes up and big institutions get way more interested. The chains that don't, they're just going to look riskier and riskier over time. At the end of the day, it's pretty black and white. The winners of this race get that security premium. They attract the big money, the serious developers, and they solidify their spot as the foundation for the future. The losers? Well, they risk a total collapse of trust, and with it, a total loss of value.
And this brings us to the most important point. How should you and I be thinking about all this? Well, it gives us a brand new, incredibly powerful way to evaluate projects in this space. This is the key takeaway, right here. Forget the day-to-day price charts for a minute. A project's ability to navigate this massive, fundamental upgrade will tell you more about its long-term chances of survival than almost anything else.
So from now on, you've got this new tool, PQC Readiness. Is it Project talking about this? Do they have a plan? A team that's actively working on this problem is showing you they have vision, they have technical skill, and they have good governance. Those are the signs of a project that's actually built to last. And so that's the question I want to leave you with. As this huge technological shift gets closer and closer, the moves projects are making today are what will separate the enduring foundations of tomorrow from the digital ghost towns of the past.